Hello folks. It is a lovely warm evening, or at least in this office it's quite warm. Outside, not so much. Not so much at all. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. It is Imperial Fists time today. So that's going to be not controversial at all. I actually had a few good ideas over the week about this stream, about what we're going to do with Imperial Fists. It is one of those where I will be letting you guys take the reins, of course, but, you know, Imperial Fists being Imperial Fists. Yeah, Smitty says, who cares about Imperial Fists? We got new Eldar. Well, we do have new Eldar, but we also have new ways of spending money, which is, it's not great, you know? You know? I'm very reticent to give Games Workshop money at all. You know, like new Eldar models. I mean, suppose I can whack this on. There we go. The new Eldar models. So, you know, I mean, it's great. It's years late, but it's great. I mean, they're here. We're getting new Eldar stuff. New Aspect Warriors. It's been a long time coming, you know, to say the least. You know? New Aspect Warriors. I mean, how do I put it? Like, I just... Is it me? Or I don't know, dude. I don't know whether we're giving Games Workshop a bit too much credit for, like, doing something that they should have done 20, 30 years ago. Do you know what I mean? I mean... they look great for the most part. Don't get me wrong. Let me just make sure this is... There we go. They look great for the most part. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not sitting here. Oh, terrible. No, it's great. The models look great. You know. I'm just interested in what the pricing is going to be for these models. So I think a few of you will know. Like I've actually been thinking about getting into Eldar for a while. Right. Like it's actually been one of my things for a while that I've been thinking about doing. I love the feel of the Eldar. Like, it's always been one of my... Eldar were my first army in 40k. My first ever army when I was a kid was Eldar. That's what I got. That was my thing. Like, I wanted to do Eldar, so... I got my ass kicked every single week in 3rd, 4th edition with Eldar, dude. Every single week. Because Eldar back then were pretty much a... glass cannon army, but even more so than now. But they were amazing. If you knew how to use them well, they would cut through things like butter. But I didn't. I was 11 years old, so I got my shit pushed in every single time I played 40k when I had Eldar back in the day. So, I am thinking of getting back into them, but I'm not thinking of paying Games Workshop's exorbitant prices. That's just not something I'm thinking of doing. You know. Like, next year's project is going to be the Umbral Warders. So, basically, for the channel, we're creating our own sector within 40k. And the Umbral Warders are basically the 3 Space Marine chapters who call that region of space home, right? The Emperor's Wolves is one, the Void Talons are another, and the Steel Wardens are another. So that there are 3 main Space Marine chapters in this area of space. You know, but it's a huge area, so we can have more Space Marine chapters. But that's something for next year. It's something for next year. But we're doing the Emperor's Wolves now, because we're getting them done for a game with Morty and Glory and other people over the next couple of months. So, but yeah, they look great. They look fantastic. Fire Dragons have needed a new model for forever and a day. The one I was looking for, though, was Striking Scorpions. That was the one I wanted. That was the one I was looking for. Did they... These all look really cool, but did they release Striking Scorpion? They did not. So... Striking Scorpions for me. Any Eldar fans, did they show off any... Did they show off any Striking Scorpions? Because if they did, then I am excited, because Striking Scorpions are my favourite aspect warrior. Because basically, whenever I got those dudes into combat when I was a kid, finally I was good at combat. I sucked at combat, dude. Eldar sucked at close combat. But I will never forget the face of my friend when I charged him with Striking Scorpions. Straight into his Space Wolf Terminators, and they just tore them apart, tore them to shreds. And I was just like, yes. It's brilliant. Okay, yeah, so they're a kill team. Cool, okay. Then I guess I will look at it. Let me have a little look here. Striking Scorpions, 40k. Oh, I see. Is this them? Okay. Alright. Yeah, they look pretty cool. They look pretty cool. These are old, aren't they? These aren't new. Are these new? I thought these the guys on the left look really old. That's old versus new, right? Okay, got you. Okay. Well, I do prefer the new ones. I will say that. I do prefer the new ones. Yeah, new ones look really, really cool. Somebody said, who was it that said they look like tall humans? Connor Lundeen, yeah. I agree, man. I think that's one of the main things I've said about Eldar as a whole, is that my main bugbear is that literally the Eldar are just tall humans in the lore now. You know, there's no real difference between them. If you go into aesthetics and what they're supposed to look like and how they're supposed to feel, you know. The Eldar used to be truly alien, very weird, and even their culture was very Wraithbone oriented. Do you know what I mean? There was lots of strange bits, Maiden World lore, you know, strange bits like that in the lore these days. They seem to have skirted around that and just they Games Workshop want to focus on what does everybody do in combat, and everything else doesn't really matter because we need somebody for the Space Marines to beat up. So that's basically what the Xenos are. They're boiled down to what they're good at in combat, so the Space Marines can look really cool when they absolutely annihilate them, you know. They should just be elves. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't agree with that either. I think, in all honesty, they should really be their own thing. They shouldn't be elves in space and that's it. They should be space. I would strip the samurai aesthetic away from everybody else and just give it to the Eldar and turn it up to 11. You know, have it be this really alien, warped version of feudal Japan. Space elves in space, you know, do that kind of thing. Wraithbone, advanced wraith constructs, singing worlds, maiden worlds, things like that. All of that stuff should be, you know, the Eldar way. Right now, if you told me this was an errant human civilization on the right, I'd probably believe you. But, oh, okay. If I didn't know what 40k was, and you go, oh yeah, these are humans, they're just like from another planet, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, you know. Space Samurai, yeah. I like them, though. I think they're pretty cool. Yeah, this may be a small project for next year. Like maybe get a one group of Striking Scorpions and one group of the new Guardians, and then just go from there. See, get a small Eldar force. Because I used to love them back in the day when I was a kid. I really did. I loved them. They were gorgeous. Yeah, the new Warp Spiders look great. I love the new Warp Spiders. They look awesome. They look brilliant. So the one thing that always frustrated me back in the day, and I mean it really, really annoyed me, was how good Eldar were in stories. Do you know what I mean? What I mean by that is how good they were when you were reading a book. Do you know what I mean? Like you're reading. I always remember being I was on a coach down to London, and my grandma had bought me a White Dwarf, and if you remember what White Dwarf it was an Imperial Guardsman running straight towards the camera with like a fiery background behind him. I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. It's one of those weird zeitgeist things where most people from that era know that White Dwarf because they were all the same age when it came out. Anyway, it had I could still consider it to be the best White Dwarf magazine ever printed because it had the reveal of the Black Templars and the Land Raider in it as well. And copious amounts of Eldar lore in the form of short stories. Now, in these short stories, the Eldar looked amazing. They were just lopping off the limbs of Space Marines like it was nothing. But then, of course, you get them on the tabletop and they're blown off in 2 seconds. So... you missed nothing, Flaming Neko. You missed nothing, mate. You missed nothing. We haven't started the rebuild yet. I'm going to start it in a few minutes. I really like these dudes, though. I think next year I'm going to do another project, maybe my first Xenos project in a while. We'll do some Eldar, I think. Yeah. I'm not sold on the on these swooping hawks. Not sold on them. I've never been a fan of models jumping off of things. I think it's too contrived. It just looks a bit weird. You know what I mean? Never been a big fan. I like the fire dragons. Now they're going to be super easy to paint. This is going to be awesome. They're going to be super easy to paint. I'm going to love that. But I've never been a real rainbow-coloured Eldar army kind of guy. So I've always wanted to do an Eldar army where all the aspect warriors are painted the same. Do you know what I mean? Because they're from the same world, right? They're from the same craft world. So they're all coloured the same. I know that's sacrilege. Having Striking Scorpion be the same colours as Fire Dragons, but I don't care. I want them to look like they're part of the same army. They're not this kaleidoscope of different colours. I'm going to do them a dark colour, I think, but we'll see. I do like dark colours in 40k. In fact, I really like this colour scheme. I think this colour scheme... weirdly, this is the Emperor's Wolves colour scheme. This Eldar's cosplaying as an Emperor's Wolf, man. That's literally the Emperor's Wolves colour scheme. Mining Bat says, I love the new Krieg cavalry models. Yeah? Yeah, me too. Me too. And the command squad, yeah. Yep, I like Krieg too. Pre-command squad. Let's have a look. Oh, these are the old ones, aren't they? Ah, come back to that later. Looks cool, though. Loving new Eldar. Very nicely done. It's one of those things with Eldar, though, is that I've already found on Minimaker. Let me just show you something. I'm going to show you something now. And, so this is the new sponsor on the channel, right? So we're looking at one of our new sponsors is Minimaker. These guys. And they do some amazing Eldar sculpts to the point that I was actually... This is what got me to think, maybe I'll start an Eldar army. Head over to Grim Dark Future. And we have... Where are Space Elves? There we go, Space Elves. Now, some of these were absolutely amazing. So you look at the Primeval Elite Guard. Guys like this, you know? And I know from the models I've already gotten from these guys that the quality is basically what you see. So basically, whatever I see on here, I know the quality is going to be this quality. This is my kind of shit. This is my kind of Eldar stuff. Like, this is what I wanted. I want cool swords. I want samurai aesthetic, you know? I mean, look at that. And again, a lot of the times, with your file preview, sometimes you should treat it with a pinch of salt because you don't know how it's going to come out. But I'm telling you now, this is how they come out. I've got some Bretonnians, and they're literally like this. It looks exactly like it does here, you know. I mean, this Fugan Ra model, right? He actually has scales on his cape. All of that is scale, all up the back there. And this is Fugan Ra. Look at that! Look at that cape. That's some heavy shit right there, man. This is what I mean. When people say to me, are you getting the new Eldar? I'm like, dude, I've had new Eldar for months. I've been able to get new Eldar for months. This is new Eldar, right? Like, I can't sit here and tell you that this is not Games Workshop quality, you know? Let's have a look at a few more before I switch it off. Striking Scorpions. Now, these were the guys. Look at these. Look at them. They look like fucking Predator, dude. That's Eldar, you know, Predator. Like, good Predator. I'm going to post this in the chat so you can all have a look. Look at they're called Eviscerators, right? You want new Eldar? There you go. Like, I've just given you some new Eldar. Like, that's what they should look like. These look better than the Games Workshop ones we just saw, in my opinion. Much better. These guys look like they tear you to pieces in close combat. That's an intimidating unit on the tabletop. Look at the back of them as well. Right? It's just the shit, man. They're amazing. And I've always, like, said, look, it's taken Games Workshop this many years to give you what you want. But what you want has been here the entire time. If you just look. It's been here the entire time, dude. You know? Let's have a little look at what army do you guys want to see? What army do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see some Imperial Guard? Let's have a look at Loyalist Guard. Let's have a look at Loyalist Guard, shall we? Let's have a look at some Loyalist Guard. Select random units here. Female Commissar. I mean, come on, dude. Come on now. Somebody was talking about Katachan the other day. Why is there no good Katachan models? There are. They just don't belong to Games Workshop. There are tons. They just don't belong to Games Workshop. Go give your money to somebody else. And this is what I mean. Look at this shit, man. I mean, come on. And if Games Workshop came out with this, people would be pissing their drawers. They'd be like, "Oh my god, oh thank you, Games Workshop, thank you, dude." It's already been here for years. The fuck is wrong with you? If these people have been here for years doing products like this, you could have had an amazing looking Guard army for years that you didn't have to wait for. That you could get for cheaper and better. Well, better models. Like, there's most of them are better models. You know? Anyway, I think I've plugged them to enough now. But that is my kind. The only ones I would say, maybe you don't. The one thing I need to show you before I stop here, right? Have a look. Just have a fucking look at the Sisters of Battle on Minimaker, man. Have a look. Come on. And again, I've got a full Bretonnian army from Minimaker. They look exactly like this. I got them gaming quality. They look all the models from this website look exactly like this. This is not smoke and mirrors. That's what I love about it. Like, normally when you look at these files, you're like, okay, is that how the model's going to look when it comes out? Because every time I get something off of Etsy, it looks a bit different. No, dude, these all look like this. Look at them, man. They could be men or women. You could do them as anybody. Fucking awesome. These are like my favorite models of anything right now. That's my shit, man. Space Knights are just amazing. Right, so Minimaker. Go look at them. Stop moaning about Games Workshop not doing the models you want. The models you want are all there. Like, they're already there. Go and get them. Michigan Yankee, go and have a little look on the website. I think they do. But if they don't, you can email Minimaker and you can ask for those things and he will get them on there for you. He will show you. He's got a load of clients, a load of guys that work with him that essentially... Oh, someone else, Shijukari, okay. That basically do different parts of the business. So he is the storefront and he sells these models for other people. So basically... They want to sell their, their sculpt for Jukari, for instance. You know, that they can do that on his storefront. So I think, I'm not sure how it works. I think he gets a cut. I'm not sure how it works. It's all above board. Like they're all made up to be on the storefront, and they're selling their models, which is great. Right, what did we want? Drakari? Dark Space Elves? These are your normal Cavalite warriors? Look at that. Who's not standing in the fucking aisles to them? Look at that. The one criticism I would make is that the Drakari in Games Workshop look different to Eldar. These look different, but not that different. Do you know what I mean? You know, but they still look amazing. If you painted these as Drakari, you would know what they are on the tabletop with 40k. You know? Your spikes everywhere. I love it. Alright, what else did people want? Drakari and Traitor Guard. Alright, we'll do Traitor Guard in a sec. And Chaos. Right, we'll do Chaos. Right, Traitor Guard. Where are Traitor Guard? Renegade Guard and Havoc Battle Brothers. And somebody else said Nids, right? Nids? Where are they? Alien Hives. We'll do Nids first. Right, Alien Hives. If you've ever played Helldivers, then you know what these guys look like. I want to show you the Gene Stealers. They're my favourite unit from this army. Look at those. How gorgeous are they? Again, quality is as you see it. My Eldar army is going to be made up of mostly mini-maker miniatures. The quality is as you see. That's what you get when you order. It comes just like this. I think you have to stick a few of them together. They come like this. They come like actual models, dude. They come like actual fucking models. See? So you want proper Gene Stealers? There you go. You know, Games Workshop, take note. Take note. Lots of other monsters there as well, but you can look on the website for yourself. You can have a look. All right, we have Chaos Space Marines. Let's have a look. This is an interesting one because you don't really need more Chaos Space Marines because the ones that Games Workshop have are generally very good. But Chaos Space Marines. Bloated Terminators there. Hellbrute. Love how you can actually see the guy inside of it, dude. That's awesome. Look at that. And of course, Abaddon Proxy himself. Or as I like to call him, Abaddon with balls. In fact, when I do my own Chaos Warband, this guy's going to be leading them. It's got to be. Alright, there's your Chaos. And now, Renegade Guard. Dude, look at this guy, the Vulture's Gang. Look at that. Look at this guy. Fucking A, dude. Look at this. Hell Riders. Yeah, you want Mad Max Guard? You got him. Dark Command Squad. Again, like, he works with all sorts of people. Den of Imagination, all those guys. Brilliant stuff. Alright, we're getting to the rebuild in a minute. You didn't miss anything, John. We're gonna be going in a minute. But if you want to get some models from Minimaker, you use the promo code Northern Exile. That gives you 10% off. So you get 10% off your order if you put that in there as to get some models. Yes, I have. Warrior Tier is an amazing channel. Amazing channel. Yeah, really love it. Very good video on Angron. Alright, I think it's time. I think it's time to dive in. Let's dive in. Alrighty. So, Imperial Fists time. I've given you a lot of time to join, so here we go. Imperial Fists time. Let's jump in. So I think first and foremost, what we got to decide with the Imperial Fist is what they are, right? They are the Praetorians of Dorn. These are the guys who hold fortresses. These are the guys who are the exemplars. They are literally stand and fight Marines. But I had an idea for the Imperial Fist and the rewrite that we're going to do. I look at their yellow armor, right? And it just doesn't click. It's too bright. It's too pastel for me. I love metallic colours. And when I daubed them down, I thought, well, what could they be? You know, what could they look like? And I sort of thought, dare I say it, we make them gold? Or bronze? And then going a bit further, dare we make them more interesting and make them more akin to Minotaurs? Right? That was my thought straight away. Minotaurs. Right? They defend places, but they're utterly ruthless. You know? We just expunge the Minotaurs and move that, or make the Minotaurs a successor of the Imperial Fists, who are way more psycho than the Imperial Fists. You know? I don't know. We'll see as we go on. But. First of all, Rogal Dorn. Rogal Dorn. Why is Rogal Dorn sent to Inuit? Because as we know, the Emperor sends out his Primarchs for the express reason that they need to go and take these specific worlds for his Imperium before he gets there, right? That's why they're sent out there. The Chaos Gods do not throw these guys just out into the void. No, it's the Emperor of Mankind who does so, right? The Emperor of Mankind sends out his Primarchs when they're babies to take these worlds and prepare them for his coming, essentially. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just what they do. They're just, they're there. So why is Rogal Dorn sent to Inuit? What's the reason? Connor says, because Inuit is the heart of the military complex. Okay, cool. Cool. I mean, what is Inuit? When we look at it. It's an icy planet, I know that. So, sorry, not Inuit, Inuit. Inuit is a mostly lifeless, frigid world of little value, sporting little natural resources and vicious native wildlife. The people of Inuit are barbaric, but not unsophisticated, raised to endure and survive the harsh climate. Most of Inuit's population is nomadic, moving between the subterranean ice hives to trade in weapons, fuel, and technology. Right. So, why is he on this world? And if we need to change it, what are we changing it to? Ancient gene tech for the Emperor's new warriors. I don't want to rely on technology too much. We've done that a few times with technology, where we said, oh, you know, they've gone there for technology. Maybe it's something else. Archaeotech, again, technology. We've done it too many times. Because he knows the phalanx is there and needs someone to secure it before the Xenos do. That would be interesting. Yeah. Maybe the phalanx is actually a ship from before Old Night. Right? I've got an idea. How about we make the phalanx being like an entire continent on the world. On Inuit. And nobody really knows. Right? But the Emperor knows that this ship from Old Night is there. That's a planet killer, and he needs it. Because if anybody else gets a hold of it, he's in big trouble when he comes to this system. So he sends Rogal Dorn there. Rogal Dorn starts his life, right, by literally defending Inuit. Defending the phalanx. How about that? So, Rogal Dorn sent to Inuit to protect the phalanx, which is a huge ship masquerading on planet. Explore Norfolk says, why not do a Night World Imperial Fist colour scheme or one of the many camo patterns from the Sundering? Many vanished, or did they? Yeah, we could do, but the thing is, I don't want to move too far away from what the Imperial Fists are, right? You know? It has one of the most stable warp routes to Terra. Yeah, we could put that in as well. You could just add that to the Phalanx idea. That'd be cool. We can add that to the Phalanx idea. I like that. It's got a very stable warp rift. Or a warp route to Terra. Yeah. So let's amend that then. Not only is the Phalanx there, it's on a very short jump to Terra. So the Emperor knows that if somebody gets a hold of that Phalanx and comes over to Earth, they could just wipe it off the map. Right, just wipe off the galactic map. So he sent somebody there to defend the world, to defend the Phalanx. Well, trade could come in later on, Smidsy, right? Because Rogal Dorn is flying the Phalanx by the time the Emperor gets there, you know? But here's the thing with the Imperial Fists. I'm not sure we need to change too much about them. You know? I don't think we need to change too much about them. They kind of serve as their own thing, you know? The Phalanx itself could be an amplifier for the Astronomicon. Yeah, it could be. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Why don't we combine those ideas? Alright, we combine those ideas. So, Rogal Dorn is sent to Inuit to essentially lock down the Phalanx. Because the Inuit system is a short jump and a very stable jump away from Terra. Right? And the Phalanx is actually a beacon that the Astronomicon can actually latch onto. So that's only going to get more stable. And if somebody else gets a hold of Phalanx, it's game over. Because Phalanx is a Old Night level ship. It's an amazing ship. Right? That's why Rogal Dorn sent there. To defend it. Alright. Alright, cool. Cool. End that poll. Alright. So. That's decided. Right, that's decided. Where do we go from here? What is the identity of the Imperial Fists? Like we know in lore they are very defensive, right? They are paladins who watch the walls, sort of a thing, right? Do we want to change that? Do we want the Imperial Fists to still be masters of defense? Let's have a look. Do we want the Imperial Fists to still be masters of defense? Now, I had a very interesting talk with a subscriber a few months ago about the Imperial Fists. And he told me that he thinks that the Imperial Fists are the 40k version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I thought I knew what he meant, and I did in the end, but I asked him to expand on that point. He said, well, if you look at how Obi-Wan Kenobi fights even in the lore, he's a very defensive, level-headed man. He fights to misdirect incoming attacks. He's essentially the master of defensive lightsaber dueling, you know? And he's known as the negotiator. That's who he is. He's very level-headed, and he'll listen to you if you have something to say, right? He says the Imperial Fist should be something like that. That's what they should be, you know? And bear in mind, people seem to think defense is weakness. Let's not forget, Obi-Wan Kenobi won every lightsaber duel he was in until he chose to die. Literally. Like literally every lightsaber duel he was in, he won. Even in the expanded universe. Like he fought against people who were really good at attacking, and he just beat them because he was just so good. And what are the Imperial Fists? A lot of them are duelists, right? A lot of them are swordsmen. We should keep that aesthetic. Yeah? Alright, well, that's a pretty extensive vote, so we'll leave that one there. Alright. Now, somebody's mentioned the squats and the leagues of Votan. This is very interesting. Okay. Alright. Yeah, he loses to Dooku, though, because Anakin rushes forward and does some stupid shit. You know what I mean? So, let's look at the Leagues of Votan. How... Number one, do we want the Leagues of Votan to be involved in the story whatsoever, right? Because this would be a really good opportunity to bring them in, to actually make them make sense. Do we want Leagues of Votan to be in Imperial Fists story at all? This will solve it. If none of you want to do it, then we'll leave it. But do we want the Leagues of Votan to be involved in the Imperial Fist story at all? Well, I'm surprised by that vote. I thought people would want to see that. I'm surprised by that. Okay, cool, cool. Yes is winning, but not by a lot. It depends how involved they are. Well, this is what I mean. It's at all, right? And then we'll start building it out and what it's going to look like. But at all. It's yes, they are involved, or no, they are not. We're not doing extents yet. We'll smooth that out when we get to it. Wanton, it does, but what if the Leagues of Votan are the remnants of the squats? That's what's left. You know what I mean? Right, we'll leave that there. So the Leagues of Votan are going to be involved in the... Alright, so somebody came up with... Who was that there before? Who said that before? Yeah, Jet Wild Dog 1992 said, what if the dwarves helped make the phalanx? That would be quite a cool thing, yeah. What if they were a race from back before Old Night who created the phalanx? Right? So they're the guys who... Oh, I've got a fucking great idea. I've got a great idea. Right. How about we make the Leagues of Votan, right? They're already spaceborn, you know, at this point. And they don't fight a war with the people of Inuit when they finally go into space. They realise that Rogal Dorn's piloting the phalanx, and that his phalanx is basically crewed, by and large, by people who, you know, obviously his warriors are on there, but the people who are actually taking care of the spacecraft are dwarves. They're squats. Right? The Kith, or Kine, or whatever they're called. And so they join with them. Right? So why don't we make the Leagues of Votan the smiths and artisans of the Legion when it happens? What do you reckon? They are the smiths and artisans of the Imperial Fists. What do we reckon? I think Cudgel, that's a cool idea, but we're going too far into like a yet another story. Do you know what I mean? We want to keep it nice and focused on the Imperial Fists. And we don't want to give them like another campaign to do. Minding Back says, I think the Leagues of Votan should find Rogal Dorn and raise him. I don't think so, Connor. No, I think they're considered like mutants. Not mutants, but subhumans or whatever. Okay. Okay. How about this? Is Inuit a remnant Leagues of Votan world? How about that? Is Inuit a remnant Leagues of Votan world? So there are humans on there, but they're mostly Leagues of Votan. And they're the ones who bring up Rogal Dorn. It gives the Leagues of Votan something to do, right? It means they're not just coming out of Games Workshop's ass, you know? But it also means we can crush them later. We can have the Tyranids come and devour most of the Leagues later. Maybe that's why the Leagues aren't a thing anymore. Because they get smashed during the Post-heresy, when Inuit is invaded. And then, years later, when they're rebuilding, the Tyranids come and devour most of them. So they're still around in the setting, but they're very low numbers. They can be their own army, sure, right? Again, John, that's a cool idea, but we're going too far down the rabbit hole. We're trying to do surface level here. You know, we've got lots of things to talk about. So he said maybe Votan are a rival tribe to whoever raised Dorn. You know, now we're getting into the nitty gritty. We don't need to be getting that far into the reeds. We just need to decide whether Dorn is brought up by, you know, dwarves essentially. All right, so we have Dorn sent to Inuit to lock down the phalanx as a child. He is brought up by the Leagues of Votan, right, who become his smiths, basically, right? And when the Emperor finds him, you know, they already have a little mini empire going on led by Dorn. So Dorn is leading the squats. He's leading the Leagues of Votan in having their own little empire, right? Yeah. There is no Votan yet. They are still squats. Well, I'm just using the word squats because maybe that's something that, you know, it's a derogatory term that people use for them. You know? Alright. That's what we've got so far. Do we change much about... Alright, do we change much about Great Crusade Imperial Fists? Because I think for me, what we've written so far kind of works with Imperial Fists as they are, right? We don't really need to change a lot about them because we've already got a much more elegant upbringing for Rogal Dorn. He has a reason for being so good at defense. He has a reason for being so good at building things and building fortifications and stuff. He has a reason for being so good at commanding the phalanx. He has loads of artisans who are now going to make weapons and armor for his knights, because that's what the Imperial Fists are, right? They're just paladins and knights and shit, right? I think standard Imperial Fists kind of works. It just kind of works here. I'll be honest. Maybe, Cody, maybe. Yeah, we could have the Votan come from fall up between Dorn and the squats. I think the squats, what's going to happen is, right, with the Leagues of Votan, we're going to have the Tyranids eat their civilization, right? It's the big reveal of the Tyranids, is that the Tyranids eat the civilization of the Leagues of Votan. Because there's no more Dorn, right? Inuit is wiped off the map, it's consumed, yeah? And that's where the squats come from. The squats are like... Now just wandering traders and, you know, they're basically like Craftworld Eldar, but on big mining ships like the Red Dwarf and shit like that, do you know what I mean? And the Leagues of Votan are the guys who are long gone, right? By the time we get to so we call the squats something else, you know? There's still an army in 40k, but we call the squats something else. We'll get to that when we get to that, right? But, okay. So we're not changing much at all about Great Crusade Imperial Fists. I'm good with that. I think that works. Alright. Space chuds. Yeah. Right, so... Jujikero play any part? I think we're going a bit too far. Jakera are Grey Knights play things. We're gonna do that at another time. Not like that, you know what I mean? Anyway, Great Crusade is ended. So now is Dawn on Terra for Heresy. I love the fact that the Leagues of Votan being there sort of makes the Nordic/Germanic names that the Imperial Fists have make sense. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense that you've got a Sigismund there now. It makes sense that you've got all these different names from like a German background there now. Because you've got dwarves there. Saya says, hey, thanks for doing this, by the way. I'm trying to build a custom shield host, so the basis of lore building here is great. Appreciate the stream. Thank you, man. Thank you. Does Dawn still lose his hand? We're way away from that. We're nowhere near there yet. And then that poll there. So he is going to be... It's 100% yes and 0% no. So Dorn is the Praetorian of Terra. He is leading the siege fight back against Horus. Right. Alright, from here, I'm going to take a quick break. But then I'm going to come back and we're going to discuss what we're doing with the wider culture of the Imperial Fists. We're going to discuss how the Horus Heresy is going to play out, the Siege of Terra, and then we're going to discuss what happens to Dorn and the Imperial Fists after the Siege of Terra. And that should mean we're done. But I'll be right back. 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. So. Alright, Siege of Terra. How's it working out? How's it working out? First thing we need to decide is, does Dorn survive? Does Dorn survive the Siege of Terra? This will be interesting. This is very, very, very tight. That's what she said. But like, no, what I'm saying is that a lot of people are saying he shouldn't survive. You know? Does Dorn agree with the Codex? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Theophile says no, and the Black Templars are formed to avenge him. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I think what we need to decide is if he is dying, who's killing him? Who's getting that kill? Yeah. Theophile also said, whilst I was away, could we have a monastery religious culture on Inuit so the Black Templar are a bit of a revolt and return to the old ways? Yeah. Yeah. Why not? That'd be cool. He needs to survive to oppose the Codex. True. True. Very true. Okay. I I'll end the poll there. So he is surviving the Siege of Terra. He's going to survive. Alright. I don't think we need to change too much about the siege itself. I'm going to be honest. I actually think it kind of works as it is. I don't think we really need to tear down what he's doing. I think Rogal holding the wall, being the guy who's wrestling with everybody's fears and hardships is something that he should do, right? Yeah. Something he should do. Okay. So he's surviving the Siege of Terra. Now, let's do wider Imperial Fists culture. What are we doing here with wider Imperial Fists culture? So my takeaway for this is that I really want to get rid of the yellow, but I don't want to make them look nothing like Imperial Fists. So I really want to make them a dulled bronze colour or a dulled gold colour. Right? That's simply aesthetic, nothing else. Simply aesthetic. I want a dulled gold or bronze colour. So, Imperial Fists. Dulled gold colour / bronze. I really want to... the yellow's too pastel for me. It's too childish. They look too much like action figures. I want metallic gold, dulled gold. Auric dull. You know, it's like... And... Why can't they have trace amounts of the Emperor's Aurum armor, right? The same metal in their armor that makes them psychically negative. It makes them really hard to target with psychic powers. That'd be cool. I actually have an idea as to why they're gold. Right? Hear me out. Hear me out here. So, pre-Siege of Terra Imperial Fists are grey. They don't have any colour. Right? But because of their service at the Siege of Terra, the Custodian Guard bestow upon them their own colours. They say, no. You fought so well, and you were here the entire time. You get to wear our gold. You get to wear our colours. The red and gold. And a bit of purple, but the red and gold. You get to wear that. That's yours. How does that sound? That's why the Imperial Fists are dull gold. Because they're not quite as shiny as Custodians, but they got their colour given to them by the Custodians. The Custodians said, no, by orders of the Sigillite, you are to daub your armour in the same colour as us. Because you were here, right beside us from the very beginning, fighting the traitors. Right? Like the Emperor's Children and the Eagle. Yes, very similar. Very similar. Maybe Valdor even says, look, the Emperor's Children proved unworthy. They proved unworthy of the honour, but maybe you proved to me that Space Marines are redeemable, that they are worth having around. Because remember, the Custodians don't want Space Marines around. They don't trust them. But maybe Valdor changes his mind. He says, no, these guys are brothers. They're one of us. You know? Again, Connor, you're thinking in black and white. Again, this is the kind of thing we come up with in every single video like this. Is that people seem to think, well, you can't change that because of this. Why can't you have both? Why can't we have a Germanic thing where, you know... Why can't the banners be yellow and black? And they're a dulled gold legion. There's nothing saying that we're moving away from the Germanic roots of the Imperial Fists. Nothing at all. We're just changing the bright, really bright, childish, you know, yellow, the McDonald's colours, to being a dulled gold colour. That's literally all we're doing. And there's a reason for it, too. Yeah? There's nothing saying we can't do both. Michigan Yankee says they are given the knowledge of the Thunder Warriors and the secrets under the palace. Oh, let's not go too far. Let's not go too far. No, I'm not going along with that one. I think it's a bit too far. A bit too far. It would be cool, but no. I'd say no. They're given a pat on the head. I think the colours are on or enough, right? Alright. So there we go. A lot of people like yellow and black. Well, that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with you painting your Imperial Fist yellow and black. But we're going with a dulled gold. Dulled gold. And black. So Imperial Fist colours are dulled gold and black. Their banners can be yellow and black, sure. And there can be, you know, their pauldrons can be yellow and black. Why not? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Owen says, the squats like the gold and were in short supply of yellow. Yeah. They also had a steel colour with a dull yellow right arm for the Unification Wars. I think that would hold up really well. Why don't we do that as the... Why don't we have the steel colour with yellow arm as the pre-heresy, right? Before Dawn. So pre-Siege of Terra, that's their colour. Like a dulled steel with a yellow right arm. Yeah? And then, when we actually get to the Siege of Terra, the Legion changes their colours to dulled gold, right? With I've got it. A dulled gold colour, which is yellowish, right? But you've got like a black right arm to represent the death of the Emperor, or the Emperor ascending to the Golden Throne. So really, they failed. They think they failed at the Siege of Terra because the Emperor was put on the Golden Throne, right? So they have a black right arm. The entire Legion has a black right arm from that moment forward. That could work, could you? But I'm keeping it simple. Keeping it nice and simple. I think that works. So Legion... What about Legion culture? What are we doing with the Legion culture here? Right? What are we doing with Legion culture? And do you know what's really poetic about those colours? Is that the Black Templars are... So the black right arm, the black right hand of the Imperial Fists is literally their mourning and their rage at their failing to protect the Emperor. Well, the Black Templars are all black. Because they live in that. Right? They live in that shit. They're literally living in it. That's what they are, right? That's so cool. Isn't it great how 40k can sort of... Just by engaging with the lore and changing it a little bit, all of a sudden you've got like a lot of poetry. I hate saying it, but it is. It all links in together quite nicely, right? Yeah. True, Sayer. True. Alright, so... Legion culture. Theophile has been campaigning for this the entire time, so I think he's right. I think, in terms of knights in space, we should have the Dark Angels, right? They are knights in space, but in terms of organised feudalism in space, we need to be going with the Imperial Fists. The Imperial Fists on Inuit and their entire empire is made like a Holy Roman Empire. It is an elective council of lords, right? Who elect their supreme leader, who works with Dorn to administer their mini-empire. And we can even have different chapters that are in the Legion, and different companies are in the Legion, have their own heraldry, have their own, you know, where they're from, kind of like how the Empire works in Warhammer the Old World, right? So the Warhammer the Old World, the way that their regiments work, should be kind of how the companies work in the Imperial Fists. In my opinion. Right? Yeah, Smitty, yeah. No Marines also come from Inuit. There are only squats on Inuit, so no one to make new Marines out of. So all the new recruits come from Terra, and that gives them close ties as well. Yes, it does. It does. It does. Yeah. Alright, so that's Legion culture. That's Legion culture. Each Lord leads a successor chapter. Yes. Yes, I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. So, the Horus Heresy has happened, right? Does Dorn approve of the Codex? Why not? If not. Does Dorn approve of the Codex? Why not, if not? Space Avaland, yes. Yes, Space Avaland. Yes, god damn it, yes. Alright, chapters will be dysfunctional and literally not work. Yeah, the Codex will shatter the Legion function. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. No, because it says Wanton, because he sees it as a weakening the Legions at a time when the Imperium's taken so much turmoil as it needs the unified, organised defence. Yep. Alright. Maybe also, Rogal Dorn has seen some of the political ramifications of having so many different leaders in his own empire, right? In his own sort of Holy Roman Empire. He's already seen it. Rivalries and internal warfare and shit, right? Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. I don't think Sigismund's story changes. I honestly don't. I think it stays the same. Because Dorn doesn't like religion, right? I think that stays the same. We don't need to change the Black Templars. We don't need to change Sigismund. It works too well. We want to safeguard Sigismund, safeguard the... In fact, I think the Black Templars work even better with this version of the Imperial Fist, just as they are. You know? Alright, so... the Legion is broken into chapters. So we have the Black Templars, we have all of the, you know, all of the different chapters of the Imperial Fists, and they are all given over to lords of Dorn's empire, of Dorn's Holy Roman Empire in space, right? So that's how the company captains, that's how they work. That'd be cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright. Okay. Right. Here we go. It's Iron Cage time. Does Dorn survive the Iron Cage versus does Dorn survive the Iron Cage versus Perturabo? And we need reasons. This isn't a popularity contest. That's not how the Exileverse works. We need reasons. Why does he survive? Or why does he die? We need reasons. The reason why I would say he survives, if I was going down this line of thinking, is that we've already given Perturabo a Primarch kill in Ferrus Manus. Getting 2 is a bit over the top. But then again, Fulgrim's got 2 in the actual setting, even though Guilliman came back, so, you know. Okay, so since Dorn is surviving the Iron Cage, I think we're keeping the Iron Cage as it is. We're keeping the Iron Cage as it is. Right? Perturabo just cannot beat him due to his robo-Alzheimer's. Okay, yeah. That works. That works. Alright. So what is Dorn's current status? What is Rogal Dorn's current status? Remember, the heart of his empire, because we've given Dorn a sort of Ultramar, right? He's got his own Holy Roman Empire in space. We've given him his own Ultramar, but I don't want it to survive. So when the Tyranids arrive, they will devour the heart of it. So Inuit is going to go away. The Leagues of Atan civilization is going to be crushed and assimilated, you know, eaten. So, but what happens with Dorn? Where's he gone? Do we give the Tyranids a big kill? The Tyranids never get a win, man. Why don't we give Tyranids Rogal Dorn? The one thing that makes everybody go, oh my god, the Tyranids are a huge threat, is, yeah, they gut Inuit. They gut the center of his empire. But Dorn goes down swinging and stops the Tyranids in their tracks, but gives his own life to do so. How about that? I wouldn't say they get his body, because that would be bad. But I would say Rogal Dorn goes down fighting somebody. Maybe an avatar of the hive mind. It's a bit too much, Michigan. I don't want Guilliman, and we're opening a huge can of worms. Guilliman and Dorn fighting, and Dorn would win, by the way. So we wouldn't want to do that. Okay. Okay. So, well, to be fair, Dorn before this is holding the western half of the Imperium together. That's what he's doing, right? So everywhere around Terra, he's holding that together. Remember, Guilliman's on the eastern fringes. It's a long way away. So for a couple of thousand years, Dorn's there holding this shit together, right? Holding everything together. So the Tyranids come in, they arrive, you know? They arrive in like the 35th millennium. Call it there, right? They arrive much earlier than in 40k. Yeah? Dorn is killed by an avatar of the Hive Mind, but he stops the invasion in its tracks at that moment. And unfortunately, the irony of ironies, 1,000 years later, the Tyranids return with another large fleet, and they go after the Ultramarines, and now we're back in the normal 40k grind of things, right? Yeah. Alright. Let me put the final poll on. Dorn eventually dies heroically at the reveal of the Tyranids. Plunging Imperium. Oh no, never mind. I think we give him a really good send-off. We have him die eventually at the reveal of the Tyranids. And this invasion is huge. This invasion is much bigger than the one that goes into Ultramar. It is literally the big hello, you know. He gives the Tyranids such a bloody nose, they don't come back for a couple of thousand years. The leagues of Votan are smashed and eaten, for the most part. Right? And they become the squats. The Western Roman, the Holy Roman Empire that he's built in the West to protect Terra, that collapses. Right? And everything is chaos. Everything's mental, right? In his death. And then the War of the Beast happens. That's when the War of the Beast happens. After Rogal's gone. So, like 10 years after Rogal's gone, the War of the Beast happens. Just as it does in the lore. If you disagree with that, then give me reasons why. Again, I won't change my mind unless I get a reason why. If you give me a reason why, and I think it's good, then I'll back it, no problem. But just clicking no on the thing doesn't really give us that much of a reason. Yeah, so just to save power levels here, just to tidy things up a bit. So the Tyranids invade. Yeah, the Tyranids invade massively in wit. They invade Rogal's empire massively in a big way, and they're gone for like 1,000 years or so. And when they come back, they're still scared. Like the Hive Tyrant's still scared that they didn't get Rogal last time because they didn't devour him. So they send tentative tendrils into Ultramar, and they still nearly wipe out the Ultramarines. That's how powerful Dorn was. Dorn fights an enemy that's 5 times as powerful as the one that goes against Ultramar, and still beats it so badly that it doesn't come back for 1,000 years or so, and kind of only tiptoes back in when it kind of knows Dorn's dead. Do you know what I mean? That's when it comes back properly. But Dorn is dead. You know, the Tyranids do get a win. Yeah, Connor, but that's the Fists. That's the Fists, though. They're tragic heroes. They stand there. They fight. They've earned the gold, right? They've earned the gold that's on them, that they're painted. Theophile says, I think the Tyranids would try to get his body, and it negates their win not to get it. I don't think so. Dude, they've literally... If they've... One of the central... Imagine the Tyranids, right? Killing Ultramar. Yeah? And the only win the Ultramarines get is that they somehow get Guilliman's body out of there. They have to evacuate with Guilliman's body. But the Tyranids get Ultramar. How is that not a win? That's exactly what's happened to the Imperial Fists. I don't agree. That's black and white. I don't agree. I think, in all honesty, nah, man. He would literally, you know, That is a huge win we've given them. We've given them Dornian Ultramar, for God's sake. Like, they get the entire thing. Secondly, it makes a bit nonsense that the Imperium does not know how the Tyranids and how to fight them. Well, they've never seen them before, have they? Until this point. I think Necron should be the ones to capture him, i.e. Trajan. But Trajan wants a Primarch as a base for creating life forms. Again, Supersonic, that can be headcanon, no problem. But in terms of the Exile verse, we want to keep things... All we're deciding in these videos is a through line, right? A straight line. Bang, what's happening? All of these myriad twisting paths, we can leave. We're not doing that. We're doing exactly what's going down the middle, you know? What's the core story of these guys? As long as the Iron Warriors don't get the Dawn kill, I'm happy. There's John. Should the Imperial Fist even survive the War of the Beast? Yes. Yes. The Imperial Fist shouldn't, but their successors should. And they should form the new Imperial Fists. Basically what happens in real life. Yeah, John, yeah. I agree. I'll close that off there. We're at 75%, or we were. But I'll close that off there. So that is the Imperial Fists. I think we've done a really good job. I think that's a really good job. And it's a fantastic job. These are going to get shorter. I've said that from the start. These are definitely going to get shorter. Always. Right? They're always going to get shorter. Because we've done the legwork in the first 8 or 9 legions. So we already know the broad strokes of what's going to happen in 40k. Now we're just doing the... Now we're kind of just doing the finishing touches as to what's going on. Do you know what I mean? But that was the Imperial Fists. And I think we've done a really good job. I think that's a cracker of a job. Absolutely. So just to recap. Rogal Dorn is sent to Inuit. Right? He's sent to Inuit to make sure that the Phalanx is under lock and key. He finds the Leagues of Votan there. And their own civilization, and they bring him up, right? They forge their own mini empire over there that kind of looks like a proto-feudal Holy Roman Empire style society, but it's very small. He joins the Emperor, gets his legion, and his legion conquers all of the space around Inuit, forging like an empire within an empire that protects the flank of Terra, right? He's very, very, very good at garrisoning places. He's very, very, very good at making sure that his men are all, you know, where they need to be at all times. They have a steel colour with a yellow right arm with their black sigils on it to denote who they are. When the Post-heresy happens, it happens almost exactly as it does in real life. The one big change is the custodians realise and honour the sacrifice of the Imperial Fists by allowing them and encouraging them to wear dulled gold as a mark of respect from Terra to them. When the Emperor falls, they end up painting their right arms black in mourning for him being on the Golden Throne. Later on, Dorn basically fights off all comers. He leads the Great Scouring, and he basically rules this empire within an empire, keeping Terra safe until the arrival, full force, of the Tyranids. They come in full force and they devour the centre of his empire, annihilating the Leagues of Votan and turning them into the nomadic squats. Dorn sells his life to stop the invasion and to protect Terra, right? And is entombed upon Terra. Not an Inuit, he's entombed upon Terra. In his own complex, where his body is. But he gives the Tyranids such a kicking that they don't come back for a couple of thousand years. And even when they do, they only send scouting fleets and tendrils into Ultramar, way away from where they found Dorn last time. But once they can confirm that Dorn is dead, they invade en masse, right? But the Tyranids literally have so much biomass that they've eaten from the Dornian Empire that they're pretty much not unstoppable, but that they are as powerful as they are in the current setting because they ate so much biomass. So Dorn did turn them back, but at massive cost. Imagine an Ultramar-sized empire being devoured by the Tyranids before they're pushed back and annihilated. Yeah. When Big E comes back, would he want a Dorn clone? I don't know. That's up to you. That's up to you. And of course, the Black Templars are the inverse, aren't they? That they wear the black of shame as their entire armor because they're psychopaths. We'll get into them when we get into them. But yeah, that's the Imperial Fists. I'm very happy with that. I think everyone's done a really good job. That was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Alright, I'm going to get something to eat because I'm starving. So I'm going to get something to eat. Alright. Oh. No worries, guys. I will see you tomorrow, bright and early, for some Hobby Nightmares. Not bright and early, but maybe it is where you are in the world. For some Hobby Nightmares and a little preview of what we're doing. It is this bad boy. Games Workshop staff are humiliated by manager at work. Yeah. That's tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, there's a little preview. What does your 40k army say about you? Part 2 with Amber King. And then on Wednesday, bro chased from 40k by arrogant chaos cretin who insists on playing a 40k Titan in his game. Yeah. It's going to be one of them weeks. Right, tomorrow is this. I'll see you then. Have a good one. Bye now.